Well, hello, and welcome to the ComSpark Magazine interview series. I'm Gary Dyer with Parallel Technologies, and we're partnered with ComSpark Magazine in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Kevin Rinn, with the Director of IT Services for Lighthouse Youth and Family Services. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit, for those that don't know, about Lighthouse for Youth and Family Services and what they do?
Lighthouse is a nonprofit for poor or disadvantaged children and teenagers. Most of our clients are teenagers up to around 24 years old. We do behavioral health, alcohol and drug counseling. We have a series of apartments for homeless youth. That's quite a big program. We have about 150 foster care families. So we have a foster care program, as well as some group homes for boys and girls. So we do quite a bit. We have locations in Dayton, Chillicothe, Cincinnati, about 14 or so different locations.
Oh, wow. Well, tell us a little bit about you and your career and how long you've been in IT and how long you've been in an IT leadership role.
I have been in IT for about 25 years. Leadership for 18 of those 25. I started out as a computer software programmer and transitioned to business intelligence analyst. And from there, I became an IT director. At first place was at Children's Home of Cincinnati, which is still around. And then a couple of years ago, I moved to Lighthouse Youth and Family Services.
Yeah. What attracted you to the Lighthouse?
Lighthouse, I was attracted to it because its mission was similar to what I had done at Children's Home. So the program, software, et cetera, was within my wheelhouse. It was something I understood and could do well. I liked its emphasis on homelessness and homeless youth. That is something that my last employer did not cover. And they have a significant program through the federal government for LGBTQ kids, which is very unique, and it's an area that's not really served. So, for those reasons, I was attracted to the company.
It's always good to be able to work somewhere where you can believe in the mission and get behind it. So you feel like you're contributing to something, the greater good, so to speak. So
exactly,
that's commendable. What unique IT challenges do you face as a nonprofit? You mentioned that before, that this is a nonprofit and you have a lot of experience in the nonprofit. Mm-hmm. Tell us, what are those kind of challenges that you come across with IT and nonprofits, and how do you deal with those?
Probably this is, everybody hears this, but it's money, because you don't make a profit. And I don't mean when I say don't make a profit, obviously they have to make more money than they spend. Whether you call that a profit or not, it still turns out the same way. But that margin is very small in a nonprofit. So you don't have a lot of control over it because you can't set your prices. It's dependent on grants in the government. So you have to do a lot with less. And that's probably its biggest challenge in the IT world is you can't afford to buy new computers every 4 years. I don't know any nonprofit that can do that. So you have to use a lot of older hardware, older software, and just how you have to make do with less. It's the biggest challenge.
And is that a challenge then with staffing and recruiting and that part of it with being a nonprofit? Does that come into play as well?
It can. Typically, salaries are a third to 20% less than in the for-profit world. So it is difficult sometimes to get talent. I think, though, the mission and it's a little slower pace than a for-profit. Mm-hmm. Because those two things, we tend to be pretty good about attracting talent.
Well, I like like you said before, you are attracted to the message. What are they trying to accomplish? And that does have a factor that weighs in to the right candidate. I can see that.